welcome to this episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves of Naarm where this conversation takes place. Land which was never ceded. Land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and to any First Nations people listening today. Today I'm talking to Alessandro Bellomunno at Flower Child in St Kilda. I went into Flower Child as day was turning to night. Through the huge windows upstairs on Acland Street, the panorama of palm trees, the Luna Park rollercoaster and the setting sun is perfect. Where else would you want to be? As I waited to talk with executive chef Alessandro, I chatted to co-owner Simon and had delicious and quite theatrical cocktails made by Michael. Think Purified Negroni with smoke. Alessandro apologised for being late, but really it was his day off and he'd just been meeting a potential subject for his submission to the Archibald Art Prize. Because you see, not only does Alessandro oversee a busy kitchen with more flower childs, or flower children, in the future, he also runs masterclasses in the techniques involved in pinsa romana, which we'll talk about in the conversation, and he has a young family. He's also an artist. As you can imagine, I had a lot I wanted to talk about, and I was not disappointed. Alessandro has quite the story to tell. Eventually, I let him get on with his day off, and I ate prawns, followed by pizza, and felt as though I was living life like it was golden. Hello.
Sorry.
It's alright, how are you? Nice to meet you.
It was a run. The traffic was...
And also it's your day off, so thank you so much for coming in on your day off. So I record it and then I use it for a podcast.
Yeah, no worries.
So I was just looking at your Instagram and you're an artist as well as a chef.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You're painting?
Painting, yeah. So I started painting 4 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
But I studied this interior design 10 years, like in the school.
Okay.
And then I stopped. So my plan was actually become an architect.
Right.
So I studied university. At the same time I started to work as a pizza delivery guy.
Okay.
So this is where it started everything. I always say where I lost myself.
Yeah.
Because then I started to work in a restaurant, I started to like it. I see there was a lot of stuff to learn, so I started with the pizza. I was delivering every day, and then every week they asked me, okay, you can do this. I started topping, so I just say, I like this place.
Where was that?
In Naples.
Yeah.
So it was really close to my place.
Right.
On my own, where I used to live.
Yeah.
So it was a really easy job, nighttime. And then just learn a little bit more every day. So it was interesting.
So it's interesting because I feel like obviously you're a super creative person because you're drawn to the arts and architecture and so on, but then you must love the people side of things as well. Is that what it is about hospitality, or is it the food, or what?
I think it's I like the group, to stay in a group of people, different people.
Yeah.
The experience is different in Australia, in Italy, and in London, where I used to be in the middle. It was in London. Really different people. So for many people, it's the easy job to start. So and for others, it's like the job of their life.
Yes.
So you can learn different things from each of them.
Yeah.
So this is what was interesting. Instead of even in art, you can find the same. Like each artist, you got a different background, and they got something to tell you. And then the same in this world.
Yeah. So what brought you to Australia?
I moved to London for just try something different.
As a chef?
I didn't start as a chef first. Yeah, but I started there to work.
Okay.
So I moved from Naples to Rome, where I was running like a small business, Always Pizza. It's a big company, Napolitan company, did Napolitan pizza. So I was working there, moved from Naples to there. And at that point I saw the difference between the two cities. And I said, maybe we try even more different. Then we went to London, I was with another person. And then I started in the kitchen as a chef. Not as a chef, but I started like dishwasher. I did all the learning salad section, and step by step by step. After 3 years, I was the sous chef in this French restaurant. And then I miss a lot.
Sorry to interrupt. You want me to turn it down a bit more?
A little bit.
The DJ just started.
Thank you.
So I miss the weather of Italy, but I like the environment that there is here, all the different people.
Yeah.
So we just maybe moved to Australia.
Yeah, right.
So it was a 1 year experience. It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then I stuck here for 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been here 10 years as well, but from New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what is it, what do you like about Australia? It's quite different to...
It's very different. I think I like the fact that you can move a few hours away and you have a completely different ambience.
Yeah.
So the first place where I came was in Perth. And it was a similar weather, but all different, all animals, all natural was different.
Yeah.
So I really like it. But when we move and we drive, the first, when you are backpackers here, the first thing that you do is a road trip.
Yes.
So we did a road trip to Broome, and it was amazing.
It is amazing.
There is no one, there is nothing. You just drive a long way. In the same time that I will drive from the road I did in 2 weeks, I will be like the all Europe by car, which is you never do because it's.
Oh yeah.
But this is what I like. I've been before Melbourne. I was in Darwin for 7 years.
Oh, 7 years in Darwin?
Yeah.
It's quite different here then.
So this one was my first winter after 7 years.
Yeah. Well, even the summer here, let's be honest, it's not, not
this
so
was
great.
the first long winter.
Yeah, you don't live in Melbourne for the weather though.
Yeah, no, it's not a win.
So tell me, because pizza from Naples is quite different from pizza from Rome, and then again from Australia. So what are you doing here? Because this pinsa romana.
Pinsa romana. So my base is Napolitan pizza. So I always done Napolitan pizza before. In Rome, long time ago, I did the pala pizza, which is almost similar to this one, just the size is different. And then in Darwin, for the company I was working, it was a Napolitan pizzeria plus a bakery. So the bakery was making bread for all Darwin, pastries. So we were doing all different variety of dough, using different flours, always try different flavor, different stuff. When I was thinking to move here and I met Eddie, he told me, look, we do these different products, which is pinsa romana. I knew the pinsa romana, but the different thing here is we use a particular flour. So I did some study on the flour and on this brand, and it was just really interesting, the story, what they were trying to do with the mixing. It's something that in Italy we always try to do the things always in the same way.
Yes.
So it's a tradition. This is how it was, this is how we do. And what they did is they just create a recipe of this mixed flour that they used to do long time ago, like in the Roman Empire. So for me it was really something new. So I came here to try to see the difference, and there is a lot of difference in the flavor.
So is that because it's grown from a certain grain, or is it about the milling, or what makes that flour different?
The flour that we use is a mix of 3 flours.
Right.
So one is rice, so no gluten.
Yeah.
And the other one is soy, which is you never would use in other pizza. It's a really high protein flour, and then the normal flour, 00 wheat. So each of these flour does something different to the dough. So the rice flour helped for the water, because on 1 kilo of dough we use 800 grams of water. So it's pretty much 80%. It's almost 50-50.
Okay.
Which is making light. You wouldn't do it without rice flour. I mean, you could do it, but it's really difficult to work.
Did that take a bit of getting used to? Did you have to? I mean, how did you go when you first started?
So I went in Rome for a class.
Oh.
So I spent like 4 days with them, with the Marco brand, and they showed me the factory, they showed me how to do it, and every day we were making different dough with the same flour, in different way, just to see what will happen to the dough, stretching, which is let's say the difficult part is stretch, especially for me that come from Northern dough, you slap the dough, so you don't really care about wrapping the dough. In pinsa flour, you really need to be careful to leave the air inside.
Okay.
So it's different process.
And how long do you leave it for to prove?
So when you do the dough, so you mix the dough, and then you put it in the cool room or in the fridge, 4 degrees for 48 hours. So 2 days.
Yeah.
So in these 2 days, the dough will rise slowly. You get the flavor of the maturation. After 48 hours, we boil it, we do the bowl, which is even, in this case, is different with the Northern pizza. So you close it almost like a bread. And then you leave it for 2 hours, 2-3 hours. And after that, you can stretch it.
Okay. And so what about toppings? Are they quite, I mean, is it overall, is it a thin pizza or is it a...
The difference is, first of all, is oval. The shape is oval, so it's not round. In all the other pizza, you will push, when you stretch it, you will push the air from the center to around, so to have a crust. In this case, you just make balls, so there is bubbles everywhere, so it's light. And for this, we pre-cook the dough. So you do the base, you stretch it, you pre-cook it for a few minutes, so you get dry, even because there is a lot of water. So you get a little bit dry, and then you topping on top, and then you cook it again.
Okay.
So the dough is what you have in the other pizza. Sometimes, majority of the time, the oven is high temperature. So when you put a raw dough with the topping on top, so wet on wet, it doesn't really cook proper in the middle. In this case, it's always dry, it's crispy, it's light.
Wow. So it's better for your digestion, so people don't feel quite so heavy.
It's much better for the digestion. Because what you do, in the other case, you're eating dough raw. So it does a little bit of process, more process in your stomach. But this is dry, there is no water. Even if you think it's 80% of water on 1 kilo, so in each bowl, the weight is 225 grams. So we are talking about just 110 grams or something like that on flour. So all the rest is evaporated in the oven.
Yeah.
So it's really light.
Yeah, right. It's amazing.
Very good.
and that's what you learned when you went back to Rome, and then you just practice.
And then you just practice here, and I get used to it. Once you got, it's easy. So what we do now in the masterclass, especially we do masterclass of pinsa. When we do masterclass, we show them how to close the bolts and how to stretch it, and people they do it really easy. Like they don't find any difficulty.
But they need to buy the flour.
In this case, yeah.
But can they do it in home ovens?
They can do it. They can do, because you always pre-cook it, so you just pre-cook it for longer. The normal temperature is 300 degrees, what we use here.
Ah, that's not that hot.
So it's not really hot.
Yeah.
You can reach 280, 285 at home with a normal oven, so it's almost similar.
Yeah. Yeah, right. What's your favourite topping?
I always go pizza margherita, so just tomato, buffalo mozzarella, and prosciutto at the end. So this is my pizza.
Yeah. I think that's the difference between Italy and France and Australia because I lived in France for a year and I always feel like, you know, European simple is the best. And here, we're like
a lot.
Yeah. I'm so intrigued by this art and chef thing because I feel like I read somewhere once that Cézanne said he used to draw an apple every morning before breakfast. So, you know, you've got to keep your craft up.
Yeah.
How do you balance? Because I've seen your work; it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, so you need to, and to practice art, you've got to practice that a lot, and then you've got a really full-on hospital. How do you balance that? And do they go together?
So painting was when I started painting was 4 years ago. Never painted before. Just drawing. I do geometric drawing. I used to do it, especially for what I study. And then I just say, you know, maybe I try. It was a period where I was really busy at work, and I had really just the night for myself.
Yeah.
I was waiting a kid, and then I say I try, and the only time that I had was really late night. So I used to paint 2 hours per night, 2-3 hours per night, and then of course I go faster on the time. But I don't really paint much. It's just 2-3 hours every 2-3 days. It helped me to don't think about all the rest. I think painting is more at the moment this passion, and is my anti-stress. If this is so, it's all the work I do here. I go there painting just by myself, music, and then that's it. After 2 hours, it's done.
It's good because I think it's really stressful in a kitchen. Is that an open kitchen?
Open kitchen,
yeah. It's hard work.
It's hard work. So you always need to get, but it's really busy. It's getting really busy, and the kitchen is small, so you always need to look everything.
Yeah.
And then you go home painting, and then everything is gone.
Amazing. It's great though. I think you're going to have some outlet, I think.
I think it's a good combination. It's a good combination.
Yeah.
You actually, when you create a dish, you kind of paint. You have the same process in painting. So you imagine what you want on the plate, different colors. So you use different oil, colors, you do different products, you mix it together and you create your paint on the plate.
So I noticed too on your Instagram you describe yourself as a kitchen manager.
Yeah.
But you're really an executive chef, right?
Executive chef, yeah.
Kitchen manager seems so humble.
Yeah.
Why? why have you done that?
Kitchen executive chef, I see more like when the business you got 2-3 places, which is actually what is going to happen.
What is going to happen? Yeah.
But for the moment, the focus is just on one. I feel more like a manager, like managing the people, managing the time, managing food costs, you know, all the whatever is in the kitchen, up in the kitchen. What my last job before to come here in Darwin was an executive chef for different places, but the main one was a catering place. So we are running all the catering in the botanical garden in Darwin, but really big, like 200 people, 400 people. And my job was planning menus, planning how to put managing people, get the chefs, enough chefs to go there, training chefs, which is what will be my job soon.
Okay, so you went. So I feel like you went from delivering or working in a pizza place.
Yeah.
But this thing catering for so what was the steps in between? Because you've obviously, it's not just pizza. You're a
chef. So the step was definitely London, the experience in London, French restaurant, it changed me because it was a completely different style and the structure, it was really old restaurant. So 50 years restaurant, they all used to do the same thing, so they want the classic products. So it was good to see how they were following all the recipes, all the recipes always the same. Training the chefs because the chefs need to be trained with old school kitchen. And then when I came in my first time in Melbourne was 8 years ago. It was between Perth and Darwin. I worked in this Italian restaurant in the city. Was called Sarti at that time. Now changed name. So the chef was there. It was Paolo Maggiovinto was his name, and I spent 6 months in the kitchen, and it was maybe the craziest 6 months of my life. The chef was really straight. We were a really good team. I learned how to work in a small team of working with.
I've spoken to him at Bar Carolina and at his restaurant in Brighton.
Rome,
yeah.
And I got really passionate. He put me in pasta section, so we had just 5 pasta on the menu, but all fresh. So everything was made fresh every day. So gnocchi, other pasta, and different special every week. So it was interesting to. It was busy, very busy, but I really love it. And I think that one, it showed me what is running a kitchen with a small chefs, but really in the right way. So everything organized. This place, these people does this, you do this, you do this. So this is an organization.
Yeah, wow.
This is what I love.
I love that. I like to hear about other chefs I've spoken to. It's like a community. Do you think it is a community here?
There is.
Do you have a connection still with other chefs from other?
I have a connection. I have connection with him.
Yeah.
I helped him in another restaurant they had before coming here. I have other people working in the city that I used to work 8 years ago. I still talk with them. I think that it's a big place, Melbourne, and there's a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
And the Italian community, in my case, is big.
Yeah.
So we all know each other.
And it's interesting in Melbourne because that Italian community goes back a long way. So there's lots of old school Italian as well. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all different, but we all on the same level. So we all. There is Eddie. Is let's say one of the old Italian school. They gave me a long time ago, but it's really connected to the tradition of the kitchen. This is actually the things that are commune everyone.
Yeah.
So we all want to always respect the tradition, even if there is new things to try. New elements. We try local products, but there's always a tradition to respect.
And I think that's something that we're still learning here, because I know when I lived in the south of France as well, this whole idea of seasonality, it really means something there. So when asparagus comes, the way French people eat asparagus, I'd just sit and watch. They would get their fork and they'd put it underneath their plate and they'd make a little vinaigrette here and they'd take each spare of the asparagus. But they wouldn't eat it any other time of the year. And I think we talk about seasonality here, but we don't have that, I think, heritage of tradition and so on. And I love how, I think we've got a lot to learn about appreciating food and traditions and the ways of doing things, because then you really love it more. I think you enjoy something when you only enjoy it in season, for example.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's amazing. So, from your perspective then, because you didn't think you were going to be a chef, and now you've done all this great work and you've really explored it, and you've got a life balance as well with your art. What would your advice be to a young person who was thinking about, or who was starting out as a chef?
What I see today, especially in the new chefs that are coming always to try, a long time ago, 10 years ago, or at least when I started 15 years ago, there was more, people were more, they wanted more work hard. So it was not a problem, and hard work. So it was not a problem to do a long shift, because you were coming to learn, you love the job, you didn't have much options, which today it looks like people don't want to work too much. So for me the suggestion is just follow your passion. So if you decide to work in the kitchen, you need to accept wherever it's coming.
Yeah.
So long shift, hard work, stress, because there is a lot of stress, and just like this you learn. So I learn by myself. I learn working 2 different kitchens, change kitchen all the time, different cuisine, like different styles, just to learn, and I never complain actually.
Yeah. I spoke to a chef recently and he said it's like when people go to university, then, you know, you've got to put in the hours to learn all the stuff and you're not paid for that.
Yeah.
And I totally understand fair work and, you know, paying people correctly, but I think it's right. If you want to master something like art, like anything, you've got to put time into it, don't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There is a lot of students at the moment.
Yeah.
There is more people studying than was before. A lot of people studying. We have a lot of students all the time trying. And I can see the difference in. They are really good. They follow everything you said, the recipes, but on the service they are not the same of the other people that they learn in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So they just need a lot of experience on the job. They're missing the experience on the job.
And also maybe eating, like going out and eating places and knowing what it's like to be on the receiving end. And
Exactly.
trying different foods and things, yeah.
This, I think, it's something that I did a lot. I love eating. They always try different place.
Yeah.
Because this is how you learn.
Yeah.
Now, today, the last 5 years, you can learn, you can see videos, you can see everything on your phone. Before it was not like this. The only way to try it was going out, eating, and the taste.
And it must be a feeling as well, I think, because I think you can, as you say, like you can learn so much, but you've got to, something has to click. Like with me, I speak French as well, and I could learn French and I could think about what I was going to say in French, and but it wasn't until it clicked in my head, and then suddenly, and that was from spending time in France speaking French.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite the same thing, but I suddenly had this idea that when you spend time with something, then you really you've got to get to know it and understand it. And it's not just about studying, it's about that kind of lived experience of being in a kitchen and understanding the ingredients and wanting to understand the ingredients.
I think live the experience, it makes more passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
Compared to study and just then from study going to the kitchen and follow everything you learn. But stay on the place, you get passionate about the food, what you do, and then you get passionate about the ambience. I think the ambience is make all the difference.
That's right. Yeah.
Even if it's a bad ambience, it give you an experience. I had a bad experience in the same place that I was in my good experience. But it's what I learned from there, so I bring them with me. Bad experience about upset chefs, yelling chef. Now you don't really see much, but before it was really common.
Yeah, well, 15 years, you've seen the shift.
Exactly. But then you learn what you don't want to be. So,
Exactly.
So this is what I'm trying to do.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You've given me lots to think about. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Alessandro Bellomunno at Flower Child in St Kilda. If you liked what you heard, you can check out all the goodness on Instagram at flourchild.au. That's FLOUR child.au. If you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat and become a subscriber at www.conversationwithachef.com. I would absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats, and of course, you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. You could even leave a review. That'd be amazing. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.